Tamara, and this is episode 34 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my knitting, crocheting, and bookish life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. It has been about a month since I have talked to you guys. I have a lot to talk about, so we'll get our admin stuff out of the way, and I will tell you guys February yarn stats. I have a what am I wearing, I have a couple of extra finished objects, a few whips to talk about, and then a whole bunch of yarn that I got at the Eureka Springs Fiber Festival. First fiber festival I have ever been to, and I will definitely be going back. I had so much fun. So we'll get into that at the end. Plus I have some new books to talk about because I found a new author. So here we go. I'm gonna take a drink because I'm a little anxious today. Don't know why. I think it's because I'm not podcasting as regularly as I used to. So it makes me a little bit more anxious to talk to you guys, which is silly, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, so let's talk about February yarn stats first. I had 0 grams of yarn in again in February. Woohoo! March is definitely not going to be that way. And I had 411 grams of yarn out. The only thing that consisted of was Bob the chicken, which I think you guys saw as a finished object last time. You did not. I will pop a picture of Bob the chicken in here. He is the emotional support chicken. The pattern is by Annette Corsino, I believe is how you say her last name. It's a fun pattern. I used leftovers from William's Dino Roar and his mittens to knit Bob the chicken, and he has become quite the fun toy at our house. I did make the mistake of putting a sandwich baggie with rice, and then I put it in another sandwich baggie, and then I put it in another sandwich baggie inside Bob to kind of help him stand up so he'd have some weight to him. Unfortunately, I did not realize that my boys, i.e. Richard and William, would be throwing him across the living room. So the bag of rice is going to have to come out because he is quite hefty with the rice in him, and when he hits you upside the head, it's not much fun. And I'm really nervous he's going to hit our TV and then we won't have a television anymore. So yeah, I have, I guess, 4 finished objects instead of just 3 like I thought. So Bob the chicken was a lot of fun. Next thing that I finished was my Love Note sweater. I did get this finished in time to enter into the make-along I was making it for. This is such a fun pattern. I totally understand why everybody raves about this pattern and why people make it so much. I will definitely be making another one. It is extremely comfortable to wear. I love the fit. It looks extremely professional. And I've already worn it to tutoring a couple of times and it looks really good. So I am in love with it. It is knit out of Knit Picks Swish DK in the colorway Eggplant, in case you were wondering. All right, third finished object. I finished Logan's birthday socks, and it's only like 3 weeks since his birthday. Go me, right? So I knit Logan, my brother-in-law, for those of you who don't know, socks for his birthday every year. He is a very knit-worthy person. I actually dyed this yarn myself to do the Naughty Knitress, I think it's Just Add Color, this last year, and this was the skein that I had extra, and I thought of him because his favorite color is orange. So I will get these to him. It's been too hot in Missouri since his birthday to wear hand knit socks anyway, so he wasn't in a hurry to get them back. But yeah, I knit his socks 60 stitches. I do a fish lips kiss heel, and I have a cutout of his foot from, I believe, a soda box. I have cutouts of most of my family's feet that I can just pop his heel in, and I think that's his 3rd or 4th pair of socks I've knit for him. So, but when it's really cold out and I get a picture from him that he has his socks on that day, you know, he's a knit-worthy person. So, all right, my last finished object is my Radvent cardigan. I decided, because this is what you do 2 weeks before you go to a fiber festival, that you need to cast on a project to take with you and wear at a fiber festival, right? Like, you knit a sweater to wear at a fiber festival. So I did, and I'm really glad that I did. I'll pop some photos in of myself wearing this. It is extremely comfortable. I made it a little bit longer by adding some cast-ons for the Turkish cast-on the side. I am definitely going to knit this again. I'm actually considering taking the yarn that I have for the Ariana cardigan, which is a granny square cardigan. It's written for worsted weight, and I wanted to knit it in fingering weight, and there was going to be a lot of math involved because that cardigan only comes in two pattern sizes. So I think I may just knit one of these in Christmas colors. So that's probably going to happen just because I think that would be so fun. I have a lot of Christmas t-shirts, and I have applied for some jobs for this coming school year in the preschool department of our public school, and I just think it would be fun on days we can wear t-shirts to wear one of my Grinch t-shirts with a fun cardigan over it. And I just think it would look neat. So that's probably going to happen. I've been thinking about it ever since the Fiber Festival. But yeah, I absolutely love this pattern. I highly recommend it. I did not think I would like it because of all the extra here, but I actually really do. It's comfortable, it's cozy, it's mindless knitting. I really needed it the week that I had this. We had some stuff happen. I feel like I say that every week. 2024 has been a rough year for us. Everybody's fine, but Grace ended up being ill for a while, and it was just a mess. So, but yeah, everybody's fine now and everything is fine. But I definitely needed this sweater when I was knitting it. And I made the sleeves long enough. I can roll my hands up in them. Everybody knows that has watched this podcast for a while that I love doing that. I have some buttons in my acquisitions bag that I will show you guys that I actually am going to sew on this cardigan, but they showed up the day I was in Eureka Springs, and I just haven't had time to sew them on. Okay, so those are all my finished objects. Let's see. Let's talk about whips. So my bus stop knitting. My bus stop knitting has kind of been non-existent, and here is why. I have developed an interesting thing with my hands. I will put the name of it here, but it is basically where when my hands get too cold, they break out in hives and itch like mad. It's happened to me a couple of times. It happened to me last year when I was actually cutting up chicken to do some freezer cooking with my mom. And then it's happened to me every now and then since then. So bus stop knitting when it's cold isn't always feasible for me. I thought about trying to wear some fingerless mitts. I have a pair that are knit out of like bulky weight yarn, and I wore those and they were too much for me to try to knit with them on. So I may try to knit myself like some fingering weight ones and see if they would help. But it's typically my fingers that itch. And I've looked it up, talked to my doctor. It's just an allergic reaction to cold, basically, is what it is. It's silly though, because my hands will turn red, my fingers will turn red, and they just itch like mad until they get warm. It's aggravating, especially for a knitter, right? Like, our hands are important. We have things to do. So the Christmas sock that has been my bus stop knitting has only gotten about 15 rows of love. So here we are. This is Cascade Heritage Prints. This is sock 1. I had planned on being far, far ahead in the sock game. And I suppose this is farther than I was last year, so I am farther ahead. But I am not winning in the sock race right now. So, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't have to. I just really wanted to get all of my Christmas socks knit by August, and I haven't gotten there yet. To be fair, I have knit four adult sweaters, 1 child sweater, a chicken, and a pair of socks so far this year. That's not too bad. But sock knitting is typically my summer knitting anyway. So hopefully this summer I can crank out some more of these. And this is my Ginger Snap Fibers snowman bag that I love. I am keeping Christmas socks in here so I can have an excuse to have a Christmas bag out all year round. All right, next whip, we'll just do my other sock really quick. I have not touched A Quart of Socks by Desert Vista Dye Works. They're on the 9-inch circulars I'm borrowing from a friend, and I realistically have not touched them at all. My hope is maybe not for April's podcast, but May's podcast. I will have all of the socks that are currently on the needles off the needles. I'll explain why it won't happen by next podcast in a few minutes, but I don't know if I had finished Richard's first sock or not, so I'll show this. This is West Yorkshire Spinners in the colorway Peacock. I really love this colorway. It's a lot of fun. I'm hoping to knit myself a pair of socks out of this too, so I made Richard shorties. And I have a little bit of a toe and like 5 rows of the foot. Part of the reason I didn't get much knitting on this has been my purse knitting, and recently just about everywhere I've gone, I've been the driver. When I went to Eureka Springs, I drove my mom's car. We went to St. Louis, I drove most of the way, and I had another project I was working on at the time that I had to get done. So I haven't really had much of a need to have purse knitting. So those will get done when they get done. His birthday's not until July, so I can at least have one pair done for him. We'll see. And this is in my Lila Styles Lord of the Rings bag that I love dearly. I need to order another bag from her. Okay, so next we're going to talk about my Star Wars shawl. And of course, when you knit a Star Wars shawl, you put it in your Star Wars bag. I have more than one Star Wars bag. This is the one that was free. So I started and I'm looking at you like that and going like this because I have even like listened to audio of people saying this and I never get it right. So I'm going to say it, but I'm probably going to butcher it, but we're going to go with it. Ashoka. I don't think that's right. But this is the Ashoka shawl by Knit Graffiti. And I am knitting this. So how this construction is you start at the 2 corners, come in, and then you knit the bottom and you knit the top. So I am knitting these in tandem. So I have one side that has this fun, and I dyed these yarns. And this part, y'all, is brioche. Who am I? So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is definitely I need to have the children in bed and 100% focused on what I'm doing knit. But I'm pretty dang proud of it. I really am. So yeah, I was surprised by the brioche because in the pattern it does not look like it's brioche, but she uses a royal blue kind of, well, like a navy. So it's hard to see. A friend of mine commented and was like, well, you are knitting a Knit Graffiti pattern. You should have known there would be brioche. She is correct. I should have known. So yeah, I haven't gotten a ton done on it, mostly because I've had some sample knits that I've been working on. We'll talk about that next. But yeah, so I've got the 2 here. I'm pretty proud of them. So that's another, it'll get done when it gets done. I'm not too worried about it. The next big project that I really have to just sit down and make myself do is that Lord of the Rings blanket, you guys. I have had no desire to work on it. I'm in that like middle of a project where it's stopped being fun, but there's not light at the end of the tunnel yet. I have decided that once the character blocks are done, I am going to sew them together and gift it to him, and he'll be fine with it. I mean, he's a 19-year-old, almost 20-year-old college student. He's not going to care if there's not a banner and a fancy border. Plus, I've got another cousin getting married in June. One of the J months. So, I need to get going on her blanket too, because I make them one when they graduate and I make them one when they get married, and then they're done. All right, next up, I have my sample knit. So here's the deal. I have been doing some sample knitting for Emily of Fangirl Fibers, and I will pop the photo in that I actually got to take this sample to her. This is the Spider Webby Cowl by Knit Graffiti. I knit it in Emily's single ply. First time I've ever used single ply. That was quite an experience. I will never ever do that again. But it turned out beautifully and Emily really liked it, so that was really good. And I actually got to meet her at Eureka Springs Fiber Festival, so I got to deliver the sample in person. And she asked me if I had time to do a couple more. And I love sample knitting for Emily. It's a lot of fun. I get to do patterns that I typically wouldn't do, things I normally won't wear, and she's really into those doodle cowls right now with Jamie of Pacific Knit Co. So this pattern I have actually sample knit for her before, and Jamie took the sample that I knit. So Emily asked me if I could make another one. I don't know if I can show you guys the actual project because I don't think Jamie has released the expansion pack yet. It's her autumn expansion pack, but I am going to show you guys the colors because they're a lot of fun. If I can balance them all very precariously in my hand, we will see, without showing any secrets. There's one more. So these are the colors, and I really enjoy them. I think the set is called Scream Queens, I believe. So just purples and oranges, or purples, excuse me, I do know my colors. Pinks and oranges and black. And if you can guess by the name, it is a spooky type of expansion, and I am really enjoying it. So I'm about between a third and a half of the way done with that sample, and then I'll get that shipped off to Emily. So we'll go ahead and talk about Eureka Springs in its entirety. My friend Amber of Amby Marie Knits messaged me a while ago and asked if I wanted to go to Eureka Springs Fiber Festival. And I've never been. And so Amber and Mom and I loaded up in her car and went. And I'm so glad I got to go. This is the yarn. This is the yarn I got for sample knitting from Emily. This is going to be an Estrella sweater by Bad Wolf Girl Studios. So the gray will be the body, and this gorgeous purple will be the moons and stars and everything, and I just can't wait. It's going to be gorgeous. These are the colorway names. I don't know why I'm showing, I'll put them right here. I don't know why I'm showing you the color names because it'll be backwards. But yeah, this one is called Magic because it is magic. It's just gorgeous. Y'all know how I love a purple. Okay, so there's that. And I had to buy the show color. So Yarn Dragon Fibers did a rainbow over the Ozarks. And it's just this gorgeous Eastery, pastel-y color. And then I bought from Red Door Fibers 2 purples. So what I'm going to do with this skein is I will split it in 2, and half will go to my mom and half will stay with me. We're gonna knit socks. So we got the purple to go with. And then Yarn Dragon Fibers had this Flower Fields, and these were they were a one of a kind and they were on sale. So of course I bought 2 because Mom wants to knit a salty air tee, and I just thought that would be a gorgeous salty air tee. I was so excited to get to go to Yarn Dragon Fibers booth. I got to meet her, so that was neat. And I got her, let's see, where's her sticker? Hang on. Sorry guys. I got her sticker for my water bottle, so that can finally go on there. And then I got a stitch marker that also has her little logo. I'll toss that over there because my water bottle's over there. Then the yarn truck was there. I did not know this was a thing until Amber told me about it, but the yarn truck was there, and I purchased a Vesper sock yarn Knitterly Things classic sock. Midnight Magic is the name of this yarn. As soon as I saw this hanging there, they had like a whole row, and I saw these colors, and I thought, if you do not buy this yarn, like this was the first yarn I purchased, if you do not buy that yarn, you will be sorry. So I bought it. It's just beautiful. And then I bought at the yarn truck also some badges for, oh, I can't show you that one. That's a gift. I bought Team Toe Up and Cast on Itis. And I also bought, oops, it got a little smushed, a sweater weather sticker for my water bottle that needs to be put on my water bottle because it's gotten squashed. And then, not many people know this, but my mom is from Alaska originally. She was born and raised there. So for part of her Mother's Day gift, I bought her these Alaska stitch markers. And then I think the person that the other little knit badge that I bought for, I think she watches this podcast, so I'm not going to show it. And then I got these from Emily because we all know I am a huge A Court of Thorn and Roses fan. It says, you know what they say about wingspans. And then to the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered. One of my favorite quotes from the books, total. So, yeah, that was all stuff I got at Fiberfest. I also have yarn in here for another sample for Emily, but I'm not sure. I think I can talk about it, but I'm not 100% sure, and I should have messaged her before I started podcasting, but we're on a time crunch, so you know. Okay. Oh, and then Emily sent me these too, or gave me these. They're her logo. They're little needle capper things. Aren't they fun? Okay, so that is all the stuff I got at Eureka. And I'm sure Editing Tamara has been putting photos in here while I've been talking. I actually didn't take very many photos. I was just kind of so engrossed in the experience. But I'll pop a couple in here that I did take of the yarn truck and a few other things. But it was just so much fun to go somewhere kid-free and have fun and talk to a bunch of people in the Yarny community that I have never actually met in person before. And it was just really neat to get to do. So when I got home, oh, I missed a badge. Procrastinator. Because we all know that is 100% me. So when I got home, of course, I immediately ran to check the mail because I had gotten an email while I was on my way down that I had gotten my package from Twin Mountain Handcrafts. Lindsay, this is 100% your fault. I ordered stitch markers. Well, okay, so originally I ordered buttons, and then I was like, well, if I'm gonna pay for shipping, I might as well get some other stuff. So I did. I got coffee stitch markers. Sorry about the rattling if you can hear that. I got dinosaur stitch markers. And then I got the buttons for my sweater that I'm currently wearing. So, yeah, the yarn diet is well and truly gone, y'all. But seriously, I had already been planning and been saving to buy some stuff at the Fiber Festival. My plan is not to purchase anything else for a while. There's another fiber festival in Lebanon, I believe in July. So I probably won't buy yarn again until July, because I have plenty of other things to occupy my time now, that I have some stuff added to stash. Whew, cannot talk today, guys. Okay, so let's see. I wrote out notes and I'm not even using them. So let's talk real quick about, I kind of already talked about all that. Oh, my yarn from Amber. Okay, so Amber of Amber Marie Knits has been dyeing yarn for a while and just does it kind of as a hobby. And she had some yarn that she said screamed Tamara to her, so she brought it to me. This is actually probably going to go to my mom because it's beautiful, but it's very much my mom's colors, and she saw it and really wanted to take it home with her. So I will probably keep some of it, but I'll wind up most of it for mom so she can knit socks for herself. This is a Tamara color. So much. Amber knows me well. I'm debating on this one because Amber and I bought the pattern. Okay, Amber already had it. I bought the pattern for the V-back tee because Arkansas Yarn Co. is doing that as their make along for the yarn crawl. I will not be able to make it to the yarn crawl this year, but I still wanted to participate and have fun and make one of those V-back tees because I feel like I could wear those to work come next year. So I have some yarn and stash that I'm hoping will go with one of these a little bit, and I can do that V-back tee with one of these, some from stash, and who knows what else. We'll figure it out. I think it needs 4 yarns, but you don't need a whole skein except for the second color, I believe. I'll have to double check. So I have plans for the V-back tee soon. I have plans for the Salty Air tee soon. I have the sample knits that I'm doing. And then I am going to try to take every bit of finishing energy and power and thoughts that I have to put into that blanket to get it done, because I know he'll love it when it's done. I'm just learning that blankets like that just wear me out, and I just don't enjoy them. So I will finish it because I know that, again, I know that he'll love it, but it's just not something I'm enjoying working on, and that's okay. Let's see. Oh, that's all the yarn content I have for you guys. So if that is all you are here for, I will see you guys again in April. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Okay, let me pull up my library on my Kindle because I have a new author for you guys. So if you've been around long, you know that paranormal romance is my thing. I love Juliet Cross. I love, or am still loving, Shannon Mayer. I have gotten to book 5 of the 40 Proof series. Still loving it. Still hilarious. Literally making me laugh out loud while I'm trying to do dishes because I have been buying them on Audible. They're hilarious. The 9th book does not come out until hopefully next month, fingers crossed. So I have slowed down on that series a little bit so that I don't finish them too quickly, because Amber let me know that there is a cliffhanger in the 8th book. If you've been around a while, you know cliffhangers are not my jam. That is why I am behind on the Sarah J. Maas books. I am behind on most of the Jennifer L. Armentrout books because I wait to hear the spoilers to know if there's going to be a cliffhanger ending, because I just don't enjoy them. I would prefer to wait to read that book for the next book to come out and then read them both. So I have not read Fourth Wing because most people were like, hey, there's a horrible cliffhanger in this book, you might want to wait. Eventually I will pick that series up, but I just don't do cliffhangers. Sorry. Anyway, So I have a new author, and I'm going to pull up the book so I can go to the first page. Her name is Heather G. Harris. She is a British author who reminds me of a little bit of a cross between Shannon Mayer and Juliet Cross, a little bit. So this is the first book in the series. Like I said, her name is Heather G. Harris. My Hoopla app through my library has most of these on audio. You can also find them on Kindle Unlimited. The other series is the one I'm on now, and I'm on book 3, but I'm trying to go slowly because I only have one more Hoopla credit for this month, and I don't want to go through the books too quickly. But they're about 5 hours on audio, 5 to 6 hours on audio, and they probably took me 2 days to read on Kindle. They go quickly. And she's got 3 series based on characters from this universe. So it's something that I'm going to be able to dip into, read for a little while, and come back. She's not an older, the female main character isn't like older, like 40 proof. She's not in her 40s. But she is like 25, 26 in the books. So it's not like she's an 18-year-old out of high school type of thing. I'm preferring the older characters recently. And that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I found a new author that I'm enjoying, listening to audiobooks. Knitting sample knits I can't show you. My kids went back to school yesterday from spring break. We had a great spring break, don't get me wrong. It was so much fun. We went to the zoo with my mom. We did some freezer cooking with my mom and my sister. We made lasagnas this time. That was a new one. We've never done that before. And I like them. We typically will take a recipe and make a small batch, try them, see if we like them, and then make them in a bigger batch the next time. We did them in loaf pans, and I really liked that because, you know, when you make a lasagna, they're typically huge, and the loaf pan ones are just enough for Richard and I to have, you know, the serving that night and then like one serving of leftovers. We're not the greatest about eating leftovers. I've really been after us to be better about it, but we're not the greatest. So yeah, we did that. I went to Eureka Springs like I talked about, and that's really about it. I applied for a job at the local school system. I'm hoping to be in the classroom William is currently in when he goes to kindergarten. I really love his teacher. She is an amazing person and an amazing educator, and I can learn a lot from her. So that application actually went in today. So fingers crossed, any prayers or positive vibes would be grateful. Tutoring should be done by the end of this month or beginning of next month. So that's already over with. I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to miss my kids when it's over. But yeah, that's really about all we have going on. Richard's still doing his thing at his job, and the kids are chugging away at school, and before we know it, summer break will be here. So I'm just rambling now. So I'm gonna hop off here so I can hopefully get this saved and at least start the editing before I need to go out to the bus stop. All right, guys, I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. If you've made it all the way to the end, I am so grateful for that. I'm grateful for any part of the podcast that you watch. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. If not, that's okay too. I'll see you guys next month. Bye.